we used to think that beauty could save us? The ancient world believed that encountering something truly beautiful was a moment of revelation and a glimpse of truth. Augustine called God beauty ever ancient and ever new. Plato thought beauty was a ladder leading us toward understanding reality at its deepest level. For thousands of years, people treated beauty as sacred and meaningful and connected to something larger than mere preference. But today, we essentially treat beauty like wallpaper, like it's only something nice to look at. We have reduced one of humanity's most profound experiences to whether we personally happen to like something or not. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, we say, as if that settles everything. As if reducing beauty to subjective taste does not rob it of everything that made it matter in the first place. So, what happened? How did we go from beauty as an encounter with truth to beauty as just whatever happens to please us in the moment? I'm going to argue that we didn't just lose our understanding of beauty, we actively killed it. We took the knives of our suspicion and carved it into something essentially unrecognizable. And the worst part is we did this while convincing ourselves that we were being rational, scientific, and sophisticated. So let me start with something philosophers call the hermeneutics of suspicion. Now, this is just a fancy way of describing how modern people approach the world. We've been taught by thinkers like Nietzsche, Freud, and Marx to be deeply suspicious of appearances, that nothing is really what it seems. Everything is hiding a secret agenda. Your religious feelings are just a psychological defense mechanism. Your love of art is probably sexual repression. And your sense that life has meaning is just a comforting delusion you tell yourself to avoid facing the void. This suspicious attitude has become so pervasive that we didn't even notice it anymore. We're essentially all amateur cynics by now. Someone says they find a sunset beautiful, and part of us starts looking for the angle of why they're saying that. What are they really getting out of it? Are they trying to seem deep? Is this some kind of performance? Because who would actually say that out loud, that a sunset is beautiful? But the thing about suspicion like this is that you can only call something an illusion if you're comparing it to something that you think is real. The shadow is only an illusion because you believe the stick casting it is real. Your reflection in water is only an appearance because you believe your actual face is real. Real and illusion are comparative terms. You need both. So when we say that appearances are deceptive, when we insist that everything is hiding some sort of darker truth, we're actually depending on another relationship to appearances, one where they reveal what actually is real. The hermeneutics of suspicion only work because somewhere underneath it, there is a belief that reality can be disclosed through how things appear to us. And that's exactly what beauty used to be. Beauty was when you had a perceptual experience that revealed something real and true, and it mattered. It wasn't just about liking how something looked, it was a moment of realization, a moment where reality showed itself to you through your senses, and you suddenly understood something that you could not put into words. And we have forgotten this, most of us. We took our suspicion and aimed it directly at beauty until it dissolved. And then we replaced it with something else entirely. Something smooth and consumable and utterly empty. Look around you right now. Look at the surfaces. Your phone is smooth. Your laptop is smooth. The walls are smooth and the floor is smooth. Everything is designed to be frictionless, effortless, and immediately graspable. There is no resistance, no challenge, no depth. And this is what philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls the aesthetics of the smooth. We have traded beauty and individuality for pleasant surfaces that ask nothing of us. The smooth is easy to consume and easy to produce. It doesn't require insight or training or demand anything from you. And you don't have to understand it or even appreciate it. It's just there, ready for your immediate use. And we like it because it makes us feel safe. If everything is smooth and shallow, then there are no hidden depths waiting to surprise us. No uncomfortable truths lurking beneath the surface. We can consume without ever having to contemplate. I mean, just think of how we treat music. We skip through songs if they don't grab us within the first 15 seconds. We need immediate hooks, instant gratification. The idea that a piece of music might require you to listen to it several times to reveal its depths seems quaint. We've optimized beauty out of existence in favor of instant stimulation. Even our architecture. We build glass boxes and call them buildings. Smooth surfaces are everywhere. No ornamentation, no details, nothing that might require you to stop and look. Just clean lines and empty spaces that photograph well but offer nothing to contemplate. We've mistaken minimalism for sophistication, when really we've just removed everything that made buildings beautiful in the first place. And this connects to something deeper about how we relate to the world. There are two fundamental modes of being: the having mode and the being mode. In the having mode, you relate to things as problems to solve or objects to consume. You categorize them and use them and move them to your design. This mode is necessary for survival because you do need food, water, and shelter. But there's another mode, the being mode, where you don't try to possess or consume something. You're just trying to understand it and appreciate it and let it reveal itself to you. This is the mode of contemplation instead of consumption. And beauty requires us to be in this mode. You can't consume beauty like you could consume food. You have to actually let yourself be affected by it. The aesthetics of the smooth tricks us into thinking we can stay in the having mode all the time. It tells us everything can be easily grasped and immediately used. Nothing requires contemplation, but everything demands that we shift into a different way of relating to the world. Now, we could just keep consuming and consuming and consuming until we die. But this consumption is simply trying to satisfy a being need with a having mode response. You might feel a lack of meaning in your life, so you buy a new car. You might need spiritual depth, so you consume more content. And you want beauty, so you scroll through perfectly curated Instagram photos and buy the makeup that makes you look your prettiest. But it doesn't work. The hunger is going to be there forever because you're using the wrong mode. Beauty is not something that you can necessarily have or even be. It's something that you have to be present for. And we have systematically destroyed our ability to be present by training ourselves to consume everything immediately and then move on. Then there's what happened when science got involved. Evolutionary biology gave us this story where beauty is essentially a byproduct of sexual attraction. When we say that something is beautiful, we just mean that our genes have identified a good mating opportunity. So beauty is reduced to a trick evolution plays on us to make us reproduce. And nothing more than that. But this can't be right. A mountain can be beautiful. Music can be beautiful. Even a mathematical proof can be beautiful to the right person. And your child is beautiful in a way that has nothing to do with sexual attraction. The reductionist explanation falls apart the moment you actually look at how we experience beauty. Beauty tracks something fundamental about how we engage with reality, not whether we want to reproduce with it. But admitting this would mean admitting that beauty points to something real and objective. And in this world, we can't have that. We need beauty to be purely subjective and purely a matter of personal taste. Because if beauty is objective, if it reveals something true about reality, then we'd actually have to take it seriously. We'd have to let it make claims on us and admit that maybe our cynical, suspicious, reductionist worldview isn't as sophisticated as we think. So instead, we get this bizarre situation where everyone agrees that beauty matters, but we all kind of pretend that it doesn't. We spend billions on makeup and fashion and interior design. We obsess over aesthetics in every area of our lives. But if you suggest that beauty might actually be important, that it might point to something real, then you get dismissed as shallow or unsophisticated or intolerant. We've created a world where caring about beauty marks you as vapid, while simultaneously structuring our entire society around aesthetic judgments. We mock people for working out for aesthetic reasons while swiping left on dating apps purely based on photos. We say beauty doesn't matter and then make thousands of decisions based on it. We decided beauty was fake, a lie that we just told ourselves, so we killed it. We replaced it with the smooth, the consumable, and the immediately graspable. We traded revelation for stimulation and contemplation for consumption. Beauty used to actually do something for us. It used to be a moment when reality disclosed itself. When you saw something beautiful, you experienced a moment of realization. The world revealed something about itself to you through your senses. You understood something that you could not articulate, but you knew was true. And this is why people used to connect beauty with truth. Not because beautiful things are always morally good or even factually accurate, but because the experience of beauty was an experience of reality becoming intelligible, the world making sense in a way that bypassed language and went straight to understanding. And we're starving for this again. That's why we keep trying to find it in the smooth surfaces and pleasant stimulation. But you can't get there by consuming. You can only get there by contemplating and by allowing yourself to be in moments, to pause, to breathe, to actually see people and things and the outside world for what it is. Because reality has depth. It's not smooth and shallow and easily exhausted. It's inexhaustible. you can keep discovering new aspects of it forever. And beauty is when that inexhaustibility shines into your experience. When you realize that what you're perceiving exceeds your ability to fully grasp it. So, with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time.